going on, y'all? Is the levels good? Did you miss me? All right, look, LYNX Live. I'm your host, Dame LYNX. Remember, love yourself, no exceptions. And I'm back with another hot episode, finally. Y'all know I record whenever I get good and ready. Did you miss me? All right, look, I'm excited tonight. We got a nice, cool little episode. I'm going to run through some topics. We're going to get into some things. Real quick, before we get started, run over to SoundCloud, run over to YouTube, type in DAMELYNX. That's me. I'm your host, Dame LYNX. Remember, love yourself, no exceptions. And while you're doing that, hit subscribe, share, and all those things, man. I'm just a little bit excited. I got to bring it down a little bit. No, I'm feeling good. It's been a nice, relaxing weekend in the DMV. It's been steamy and it's been raining. Like, you really don't know what you're going to get up here. So I have been enjoying my summer. Had a really fun Gemini season. As you can see, I'm letting y'all know Gemini season's still around because I got my boy Tupac on the t-shirt. You know, he's the ultimate Gemini. One of my favorites. I love all my celebrity Geminis, though. Tupac, Naomi, Biggie, Left Eye, even Kendrick Lamar. I like him, too. He's the epitome of a Gemini because we don't take no shit. Well, you know, we got a fun episode tonight. We're going to be getting into things. Real Housewives of Atlanta season's ending. You know, we're going to chat about that a little bit. You know, we're going to keep it PC. We definitely got to keep it pop culture. And I got some music bites for you, too. So, it's been a little minute since I recorded. So, let me just catch you guys up. I've been out and about. I have really been enjoying my summer here in the DMV. Just been getting out more, doing more things, hanging out, you know, getting back outside. You know, I like when it's hot. And it's been a little too hot, but I still love the DMV in the summertime. I went to go check out Dustin Ross. Dustin Ross had a live comedy show down by the Eastern Market a couple of weeks ago. Dustin did an amazing job. For this to be his first comedy tour, I was impressed. I laughed the whole time. You know, I have been obsessed with stand-up comedy for quite some time now. That is like my go-to before any gig. I'm definitely playing some stand-up comedy because people don't realize stand-up comedy is a very tough skill. Public speaking is already hard enough, but to try and make people laugh, it was good. I loved Dustin's show. Juneteenth passed by. I took that day off because I don't know how many more years we're going to be having Juneteenth the way things are going with this administration. But I had a good time over at Matchbox. Me and my friends grabbed some lunch at Matchbox. Shout out to Matchbox in Arlington. The menu was pretty good. Last weekend was 4th of July weekend, and I had a really great 4th of July. I don't know about y'all, but the 3-day weekend that I had for the 4th of July for the first time ever actually felt like a full 3-day weekend. So I got to hang out with my best friend. We went and did our little thirst, our little normal tip through thirst. And then we went to Nelly's and we just had a good time. You know, me and my boys, when we get to drinking and hanging out and looking good and smelling good, we're just here to dance. I'm just here to dance. That's it. I didn't come for nothing else. I just came to dance, as it. And we had a really great time. Last Sunday, I went to my favorite DMV party. I'm a Piano DMV was at Hook Hall, and I had a blast. I always love I'm a Piano Sundays. It was such a vibe. Everybody is just dancing. You know, I remember when I was coming up, we used to actually dance when we went out. You know what I'm saying? We used to actually dance so much. We was coming out our clothes. We was like busting. If you wasn't sweating when you left the club back in the early 2000s, you wasn't having a good time. So that's what I'm a Piano Sundays reminds me of. This month coming up in August, they're moving it to the Arlington Beer Garden, which is a bigger venue, which they need. Like this party is amazing. So shout out to I'm a Piano DMV for just, you know, hosting a really great show. I'm gonna try the food one day. For me, when it comes to like eating heavy, you know, I love Caribbean food, but I can't be outside and eating heavy. Like I gotta be down sitting at a table. You know what I mean? But I had a blast. I had a ball, you know, just dancing, doing my little, you know, thing. Shout out. Y'all know I'm trying to get over there with y'all. That's the scene I want to be in. I love everything from over there. So shout out to them. Really good time. All right, let's get into new releases recently. Okay, so I'm not gonna hold you. I have been impressed. We haven't had a lot of major drops so far, and I actually just realized we just finished second quarter. So I've got my second quarter picks coming for y'all too. We're easing on into third quarter, but the releases that we have gotten, even though we haven't gotten a bunch of releases, the releases that we're getting have been of quality. So a project that surprised me was Cynthia Erivo's project. Now, you know, Cynthia Erivo had a big year last year when she starred in Wicked with Ariana Grande. I still have not seen Wicked. I just haven't been able to sit down and give 3 hours of my time to see it. However, I didn't realize that she could sing so well, and her album, it is beautiful. I really loved the whole album. She sounds great. It's like a very beautiful heartbreak. And you know one thing about me, I really love lyrics. So shout out to Cynthia Erivo. Her project was amazing. I've had that on repeat. Miley Cyrus's project as well. We got to give Miley some love. Miley is turning into a legend before our eyes. She has been in the game since a little girl. She just released another project, and I really thought her project was good. It's like pop and funk. She's on her pop girl thing. Because I really enjoyed Miley's project too. She's also got a video with Naomi Campbell, another one of my favorite Geminis. Naomi Campbell is Mother Gemini. So for Gemini season, we were outside. I don't know what to tell you. So yeah, those are two albums that I've had on repeat. We've had a couple releases that came out this week. I'm gonna get into those after I've sat with them a little bit more. But anyway, also on the music tip, Cardi B dropped her newest single, Outside, which is supposed to be the lead single from her upcoming album. We're gonna get into that in a minute because she finally released a release date for this sophomore album that we have been waiting on forever. But Cardi dropped her single Outside, but at the same time, on the exact same day, Offset dropped a new single called Bodies. And to me, Cardi and Offset were competing. I mean, much like we've seen them already do throughout their whole breakup and divorce. All they've been doing online is fussing and fighting. But let's just compare the music. You know, Cardi dropped Outside, Offset gave us Bodies. And when I compare the two, I can't help but say Offset had the better single. When you think about artistically, musically, and lyrically, Offset really delivered. I like Offset as a solo artist. I think that he is consistently giving us a great sound, and you can tell that he puts a lot of work into what he's doing, which isn't surprising because, you know, Offset has had consistent hits with the Migos. The Migos as a whole has had consistent hits. So artistically, Offset won the battle. Now, I'm not trying to shit on Cardi's single. I actually really love Cardi's single Outside. I'm actually shocked that she didn't produce a video for it. Cardi's single has way more replay value. I've listened to it way more than Offset's single, even though I like Offset's single more. Just because Cardi always puts you in that vibe. She's going to give you the outside energy, the bad bitch energy, the I'm outside energy. And so I really have more replay value with the Cardi record, right? So I'm just excited that she finally has given us a release date. You know, we've been waiting on this sophomore album for 7-8 years at this point, and everybody's been talking about it. At this point, the label's like, put it out. And I'm with it. It's time. It's long overdue. Cardi's been in her own way when it comes to the music thing, but I really can always expect Cardi to give us the Cardi thing. You know, she's going to do her thing. So she's going to be releasing her sophomore album in September. It's called Am I the Drama? I think the title is appropriate. It's got about 17 plus tracks on it, so it's a very long album. I'm kind of nervous about the long track list because I feel like it's going to be a bunch of fillers and old dated tracks, so I hope that the songs don't sound dated when they come out. However, it's long overdue at this point. I feel like when Cardi drops, she's going to do numbers anyway. She's included WAP and Up. These singles are from like 2020, 2021. Chart-topping singles, by the way. She's put them onto the album, which is going to put her probably already at platinum status when the album drops. And I don't have an issue with her including those two singles. Overall, when it comes to Cardi's project, I've got to hear the sequence. If everything sounds good in sequence, then I'm cool with it. But I'm concerned with it being so many tracks and we've been waiting for so long that it might just be a bunch of dated material. But Cardi's been outside. She's been at Paris Fashion Week looking amazing. She's been stunting on them this week. She looks, every time I see Cardi, she looks good. You know, and I don't care how much of a barb I am, you know, I have respect for all the girls, and Cardi is another one. Cardi reminds me of when we needed another female sound. And so that's why I'm always just excited to see Cardi drop, because she's going to give us what we need for the moment. And Outside, that single definitely gives us that. I'm just shocked that she doesn't have a video for it, which kind of leads me to think that maybe she's not fully ready for the release. But we'll see what happens. I'm ready to hear the full project from Cardi. The promo video for the album looks amazing. Cardi looks amazing. I mean, visually, we don't expect anything but top tier quality from Cardi. So we'll see. The album's coming in a couple months. Let me know if you guys are checking for it. Are you excited? Are you finally ready to hear this sophomore album? We already know it's going to do numbers. People have been anticipating it, and Nicki had a really good run last year. So now people are ready for something else. You know, and people have been waiting on this release. So we'll see what happens with it. Cardi definitely needs to drop a video, though. All right. Cowboy Carter. So we know Beyonce is currently out on tour. She's on her Cowboy Carter tour. This is my least favorite album from Beyonce, but live, we already know Beyonce is always going to give us what we need. She's always going to show out. And from the clips that I've been seeing and the photos that she's been posting, Beyonce looks amazing. The looks, I love when she gets into the flow of the shows now and the looks start changing. She was in DC last weekend and she did this American flag, all these various American flag ensembles. Beyonce looks amazing. I've also been enjoying seeing the little girls out with her, Rumi, as well as Blue, who's just aging beautifully and just getting so much better on stage and just enjoying herself. People keep saying, oh, she'll never be Beyonce. I don't think Blue is trying to be Beyonce. Blue is trying to be Blue. And if my mom was Beyonce and I could go on tour with her and dance on stage and learn from the greatest person, I would do the same thing. Blue going on tour is nothing but summer school. What we would normally consider summer camp, this is Blue's summer camp. So, I mean, she doesn't disappoint. She's also breaking records. I mean, so far, she's had 26 sold out shows. She's grossed over $332 million. It's been reported as the highest grossing female country tour of all time. So shout out to Beyonce. She's in Atlanta this weekend. I'm seeing everybody's outfits. Y'all having a good time. Shout out to Cowboy Carter. I personally am not interested in this tour because I was not a fan of the album, but according to everybody, it honestly is just still the same Beyonce show. It's not heavily Cowboy Carter influenced. She still mixes in the hits. She's still mixing in Renaissance tracks. So, you know, I'm sure you guys are enjoying it. Next up, XXL freshman list was announced. Now, I normally am super, super excited about the XXL freshman list when it comes out. But this year for 2025, and this is the 18th year, by the way, shout out to XXL. It really makes me feel old because I don't know any of these artists. You know, I don't know any of these artists on the list. I'm trying to pull up the names here. Yeah, I don't know any of these people on here. This article isn't even giving me like the list of the people. Why is it not giving me the list? All right, Jello's on here. I think that's the rapper that was the basketball player that has that song that y'all love. Samara Sin, she's a female rapper that I've heard a lot about. Haven't really gotten into her music. YTB Fat, Low Shimmy, Nino Pay. I don't know any of these people. So I'm officially unk at this point. You know, I try to keep my ear tapped into the streets, but I still feel like the XXL freshman list is a huge honor. So shout out to all the people that are part of the freshman class for XXL this year for 2025. You know, we'll check them out. More to come on that. The Clipse have been on a really fly promo run for their latest project that just dropped, Let God Sort Them Out. They've been doing interviews. You know, I didn't realize that the Clipse as a duo Pusha T's been doing his solo thing for quite some time while his brother Malice had taken a step away from the scene. So for the Clipse to be back in the booth and in the studio with Pharrell, this is a highly anticipated project. And they've done several interviews. They dropped a Tiny Desk. Pharrell and the Clipse also did an interview with Complex, which is a really good look. It's something you should check out if you haven't fully listened to the album yet, because they play a lot of the tracks and talked about them. And one of my favorite things is when artists discuss their work and they discuss the heart that they put into it. And with this project, you can hear that they really put thought into that. And I think that that's what I'm loving the most about the projects that we are getting this year. We are getting a lot of microwavable fluff tracks. Yeah, we are getting that from other artists, but there are still some really great artists out there that are really putting in the work necessary to make sure that they put out timeless projects. So what I've been hearing from the Clipse project so far sounds great. It sounds very hip hop. Pharrell did a really good job on the production. So shout out to the Clipse. I'm going to sit with the album a little bit more and actually listen to it in its entirety before I just start giving my opinion on it. But everything that I've heard so far, especially the songs that they played in the Complex interview, I have loved. So shout out to the Clipse. Shout out to the Clipse. All right, so next up, our boy Fat Joe. He is the latest hip-hop personality that's been accused of SA. He's been accused of sex act with minors. There's a $20 million lawsuit. It was filed by his former hype man. He, of course, has denied the allegations. A lot going on here. We got the Diddy verdict this week as well, or last week we got that. So people have been in uproar around the Diddy verdict, but we'll see what happens with the Fat Joe case. Of course, Fat Joe is denying all of these allegations. You know, it's kind of hard with all of the different things being thrown around to know like what's real and what's fake and what's a money grab and what's not. After sitting through this whole Diddy trial and seeing that, you know, how he was cleared of a lot of the major charges like the RICO and also, you know, just the trafficking thing, which in my opinion, following the trial and listening to the testimonies, I thought the charges were very egregious. Yes, Diddy is a horrible guy. I'm not denying that. I'm not justifying anything that he did from an abuse standpoint. But I think that the level of allegations that were placed on him around this whole situation is just insane. So people are torn. People are celebrating that he was acquitted of a lot of the charges. But I'm more interested to see what his sentencing will be. In my opinion, I feel like the sentencing is supposed to be coming in a couple months. In October, it will have been a whole year that he has been locked up. So I think that they'll probably give him probation and time served. If they really give him a really strict sentence, I will be surprised. I mean, the whole trial was just chaos. You know, after a while I tuned out. But, you know, like I said, with all the allegations going around, we don't know what to believe or not. I just wait for the facts before I make any type of decision because you just don't know these days. You really don't know. But anyway, we'll see what happens. Let me know what you guys think about the Diddy verdict. Lastly, really big news for all of my 90s babies, all of us millennials. Monica and Brandy have announced they are going on a joint tour. And I'm loving this because forever there has been all of this hidden beef, I guess, with Monica and Brandy. But The Boy Is Mine was, and will always be a really amazing record. So these two ladies have decided to join forces and go on a world tour. They've been doing promotion for it. Brandy and Monica both look great. I don't know if I'll check out the show or not. Money Long and Kelly Rowland are opening for them, but they're doing a 24-city tour, I think. Yeah, 24-city co-headlining tour. So they're going to be co-headlining. I'm more concerned about what the set list will be and is it going to be one at a time? Are they going to be switching in and out? I like when they do co-headlines and the artists kind of switch in and out so you never really know what you're going to get. Kind of like what SZA and Kendrick are doing right now. Shout out to Kendrick and SZA too. Their tour is doing numbers as well. And of course my boy Breezy is too. You don't have to throw Breezy in there. But Monica and Brandy, Long overdue. A lot of people are excited for this tour. Lots of classic nostalgia. We're ready for it. So let me know what you guys think. Look, that's going to be it for Music Bites. We're going to get into some more music, and we'll be right back with some reality. So make sure you grab your drinks.